Good evening, I'm Michael, and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. Outgoing Dewan Negara President has called for the reversal of the 1993 constitutional amendments spearheaded by Dr. Mahathir. Then, I have some good news for swimmers. After that, we'll see why Anwar Ibrahim is likely to continue waiting for his turn to be PM. The 1993 constitutional amendments, which reduced the powers of the Malay rulers, should be reversed. This was the call made by outgoing Dewan Negara President S Vigneswaran in his farewell speech today. He said in his opinion the amendments were unconstitutional as it was made without the consent of the Conference of Rulers and reduced their powers. Elaborating on his speech later, Vigneswaran told reporters that he was not disputing the contents of the amendments but the procedure of how it was done.
You want that to also be, like this one? Or
No.
I just want to clarify.
You see, it also said whenever there's an infringement of the kings, they can bring it to the Supreme Court on a special apex court. That I'm not saying that. We are not saying that. We are only talking about the amendment to the Constitution. The amendment to the Constitution is restoring that whenever there's a law going to be passed, it should go through the Majlis. Now it's not like that. So, if that is protected, in a larger picture, in a bigger picture, the Malays will be secure. That whoever rules, whichever government are ruled, they will not be disturbed because the kings will protect. It's an assurance to not only the majority, it's an assurance to the minority.
Vigneswaran explained that he had produced 72 pages of research on the matter and would release them to the public in the future.
I've actually got a research, maybe in the time to come now I'll release it, where it's a 72-page research and finding, which I think after looking at the whole scenario of what politics and when the government fell, what is happening now is becoming more religious and more polemic politics, race and religion becoming the center point. I think the best person or the best institution to ensure that to safeguard the people, whether minority or even the majority, will be with a king in parliament.
He highlighted Yang di-Pertuan Agung's role in resolving the political crisis in February following the collapse of the Pakatan Harapan government as proof that the ruler's powers are needed to ensure political stability and the future of a diverse society. According to the Federal Constitution, changes to matters relating to state boundaries, religion and royal privileges must obtain the consent of the Conference of Rulers. The 1993 amendments, spearheaded by then Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, implemented a system where rulers could face criminal prosecution in a special court. Unless you have a private pool at home, you probably haven't been able to swim since the MCO started. I have some good news for you. The recovery MCO saw the reopening of many businesses, with the government loosening restrictions on a wide range of activities. However, some activities remained barred, like swimming at public pools or going to the cinema, but that's all going to change on July 1st. The government has agreed to allow recreational activities in swimming pools beginning July 1st. This was revealed by Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob during a press conference today.
Aktiviti riadah kolam renang ini dibenarkan di kolam renang awam, kolam renang di hotel, di kondominium, gated community ataupun kawasan yang terkawal berpagar serta kolam renang persendirian. Walau bagaimanapun, prasyarat di setiap lokasi kolam renang ini mestilah menyediakan lifeguard dan pemantau ataupun penyelia bagi memastikan keselamatan pengguna serta jumlah dan masa penggunaan yang terkawal. Jadi mesti ada pengawal.
And it doesn't stop there. Theatre cinemas will also be allowed to resume business starting July 1st, but in closed premises only. On top of that, important meetings such as annual general meetings for political parties and trade unions will also be allowed to take place. Ismail Sabri said these activities cannot exceed a capacity of 250 people and is subject to capacity of the hall and social distancing conditions. When it comes to pools, the operators must register the reopening of their pools with the International Trade and Ministry's website to enable the local authorities as well as the Youth and Sports Ministry to monitor if SOPs are being followed. Meanwhile, Ismail said the police detained 97 people for breaching recovery MCO SOPs yesterday. Peter Anthony was supposed to be in Kuala Lumpur today to face a fresh charge, but that didn't happen. Here's why. Sabah Infrastructure Development Minister Peter Anthony was supposed to be charged at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today. However, it has been postponed to July 10th. The reason? The Warisan Melalap Assembly person was hospitalized for vertigo at the KPJ Kota Kinabalu in Sabah yesterday. His lawyer Muhammad Hanif Khatri Abdullah told the court today that Peter was scheduled to take a flight from Sabah to Kuala Lumpur at 4:15 p.m. on Sunday. However, he couldn't make the flight after he was warded.
Maka mahkamah telah dapat bantahan daripada pihak S Vigneswaran telah menetapkan satu tarikh sebutan semula, iaitu pada 10 hari bulan Julai yang akan datang bagi tujuan pertuduhan dibaca di Mahkamah nombor 14 kelak. So that's the situation. Tidak ada pertuduhan dibaca sebab OKT tak dapat hadir dan pertuduhan cuma akan dibaca pada 10 hari bulan Julai.
Hanif said he was informed that Peter had been suffering from vertigo for some time.
Dia maklumkan tadi bahawa tertuduh tidak menunjukkan sijil cuti sakit.
Tak, dia macam ni. Beliau telah dimasukkan ke ward dan saya difahamkan bahawa hospital tersebut doktor-doktor mereka tidak wujud di klinik untuk menyediakan surat pada hari Ahad malam. So mereka akan dimaklumkan dan aku janji telah diberikan kepada mahkamah bahawa secepat kami menerima sijil dan juga laporan ringkas doktor apakah bentuk dan rawatan yang diperolehi dan berapa lamakah tempoh rehat beliau akan dimajukan kepada mahkamah di sini, mahkamah nombor 8 yang telah menyebut kali pertama dan juga di mahkamah asal di mahkamah 14 kelak.
Yesterday, it was reported that Peter would face fresh criminal charges, this time in Kuala Lumpur. The MACC had said it had received permission from the Attorney General's chambers to prosecute Peter, but did not disclose details of the alleged offence. Earlier this month, Peter was also charged on 2 separate occasions at the Kota Kinabalu Sessions Court. On June 11th, Peter was slapped with 5 charges of money laundering, totaling 8.75 million ringgit. On June 18th, he was slapped with a charge of abetting criminal breach of trust amounting to over 15 million ringgit, involving a land deal between 2014 and 2015. DEP Amanah want Anwar Ibrahim to be Prime Minister, but according to them, not right now. DEP and Amanah have reiterated their support for Pakatan Harapan chairperson Anwar Ibrahim as the Prime Minister candidate. However, they said they don't think he should be Prime Minister right away. Given the current situation, they said the best tactical move would be to allow for a 6-month transition period, during which Dr. Mahathir Mohamad would lead. In a joint statement today, DEP Secretary General Lim Guan Eng and Amanah President Muhammad Sabu said they have been consistently supporting Anwar as the Prime Minister candidate since 1998 and will continue to do so. They, however, stressed the need to combine the strengths of PKR, Amanah and DEP in Harapan, as well as Warisan and Dr. Mahathir's faction in Bersatu, even if they could not fully agree with each other. They said the political journey has taken 22 years and they could afford to wait another 6 months to see Anwar installed as the 10th Prime Minister. They added that seeing each other as rivals instead of allies will not help the Rakyat's cause. The statement came after PKR President Anwar Ibrahim, in a Facebook Live session yesterday, said Harapan was still intact despite disagreements over who should be their candidate for Prime Minister.
Walaupun ada sedikit perbezaan pendapat saya lihat dalam sosial media itu dah sekadar serang menyerang, tak adil. Ini mungkinlah kena kenyataan Tinilok dan Saudara Khalid itu agaknya sedikit sebanyak keras dan menyinggung dan melukakan, tapi tak apalah, itu perkara kecil.
Anwar added that DEP and Amanah's support for Mahathir to become Prime Minister was just another longer route to making an Anwar premiership a reality, and they had never strayed from this goal. He said they were no longer traitors in Harapan and that PKR's disagreement with DEP and Amanah does not mean that their fellowship has ended. Malaysia continues to report double-digit increases in COVID-19 cases. Malaysia today recorded 15 new COVID-19 cases. Health Ministry Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the new cases comprise 2 imported infections and 13 local transmissions. Out of the local transmissions, Dr. Hisham said 1 was discovered following a pre-surgery screening at the Selayang Hospital, while the remaining 12 were all traced to the Pedas cluster involving a chicken factory in Negeri Sembilan. He added that out of the 316 positive cases involving the Pedas cluster, which is the country's 3rd largest group of infections, 14 are Malaysians and 302 non-Malaysians.
Kes-kes positif kluster ini melibatkan 14 kes di kalangan warga Malaysia dan 302 kes di kalangan bukan warga negara, iaitu 163 kes warga Nepal, 67 kes warga Bangladesh, 35 kes warga Myanmar, 31 kes warga Indonesia, 4 kes warga India, 1 kes warga Vietnam dan 1 kes warga Kemboja.
Coming up next, President Trump expected his first political rally to be a hit, but the empty seats were hard to ignore. US President Donald Trump addressed a less than full arena for his first political rally in months. US President Donald Trump addressed a smaller than expected rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Saturday amid a still strong coronavirus pandemic and racial unrest. Trump, who revels in large crowds, had predicted his first rally in months in Tulsa would be epic. He was looking to use it to bring momentum back to his re-election campaign after coming under fire for his responses to the coronavirus and the death of George Floyd. Trump blamed the media for discouraging attendees and cited bad behavior by demonstrators, but did not specifically acknowledge that many seats in the 19,000-seat BOK Center arena were empty.
I've been watching the fake news for weeks now, and everything is negative. Don't go, don't come, don't do anything. Today it was like, I've never seen anything like it.
Trump has brushed aside criticism for his decision to hold his first rally since March 2nd in Tulsa, the site of the country's bloodiest outbreaks of racist violence against black Americans some 100 years ago. He also defended his response to the coronavirus at the rally, saying more testing had led to identifying more cases. Just hours before the rally, Trump's campaign announced 6 members of its advanced team had tested positive for COVID-19.
Here's the bad part. When you do testing to that extent, you're going to find more people, you're going to find more cases. So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please. And despite the fact that I have done a phenomenal job with it, I shut down the United States to very heavily infected, but all people from China in late January, which is months earlier than other people would have done it if they would have done it at all. I saved hundreds of thousands of lives. We don't ever get even a mention.
Oklahoma has reported a surge in new coronavirus cases in recent days, and the state's Department of Health warned that attendees face an increased risk of catching the virus. Only a handful of attendees wore masks inside the arena. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll be back with more tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Priscilla Michael. Thank you for watching.